Have you ever heard the saying, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying? Have you ever heard the saying, sometimes you have to cross the line just so you know where it is? Pablo Torre, by the way, I'm going to throw this out there. Pablo Torre appears to be a very, very good investigative journalist. Former ESPN. You still see him pop up on like PTI and stuff occasionally. But now he's doing some work with Meadowlark Media. He's doing some work with the podcast is called Pablo Torre Finds Out. If he started poking around and asking people questions about me, I would be very nervous because the guy just unearths stuff that gets messy quick. And his latest bit of reporting has a pretty interesting impact on sports. Basically, he uncovered that Kawhi Leonard, who plays for the Los Angeles Clippers, signed an endorsement deal with a environmental company called Aspiration. The Aspiration is pretty confusing. Looks like tree planting is a big part of their business. There's some climate change issues. That's kind of irrelevant here. Okay? The reporting indicates that Kawhi Leonard signed a $28 million 4-year endorsement with this company. $7 million a year. And he was being paid the $28 million. He received checks to KL2, there's some LLC that he is the listed president owner of. And I encourage you to go check out Pablo Torre Finds Out, the podcast, to get all the full details. I'm giving you the Cliff Notes version. Pablo Torre uncovers a lot. He couldn't find anything Kawhi Leonard had actually done to earn any of that money, which is fascinating in its own right. And then drops the bomb, which is Aspiration received $50 million in funding from the Clippers owner, Steve Bahlmer, who is one of the handful of richest people on Earth. I believe right now, according to a Google search earlier, he is the 8th richest person walking planet Earth.
Oh, just 8th?
$153.7 billion.
Just 8th.
Just 8th. Loser. So he ends up giving $50 million to a company who in turn gives $28 million to his star player for doing absolutely nothing, is the way the dots are all connected. That would appear to be close to, if not fully doing this, close to an obvious way to circumnavigate the cap, right? So now the Clippers aren't paying him that $28 million. They don't have to pay the luxury aprons, and it's not on the books and everything else. Yet Kawhi Leonard still gets that money, essentially, for playing for the Clippers. In another way to put this, it's almost like it's not even a metaphor exactly. It's kind of it's an NIL collective. Where,
it's an NIL deal, yeah.
Where you pay a player an endorsement, and they don't actually have to do anything because it's really just paying a player to play for a particular team. Just like we've seen collectives give money to quarterbacks and point guards, and they don't really have to be in any commercials or tweet. They just get the money in exchange for playing for whatever collective that team benefits.
You know, I've seen circulating around today after this news came out. Mm-hmm. Back in 2022, June 29th,
okay,
the LA Clippers posted on Twitter, "Happy birthday, Kawhi. For every comment / retweet, Aspiration will plant one tree for Kawhi's birthday."
I've seen that as well.
So you've seen like his name, like his logo, or like his name, his image, and all that stuff, and you see Aspiration there, but this is the Clippers also putting that out.
Here's the part that gets interesting. I don't know how you patrol this if they're just a 5% better rule breaker. What? Because, by the way, Aspiration had paid other celebrities for endorsements. Non-athletes had nothing to do with the Clippers. They had paid, I think I saw Drake. I know they paid Robert Downey Jr. They had paid other celebrities to endorse what they're doing. What if Kawhi tweeted about it a couple times? What if Kawhi at one point in time just said, hey, Aspiration is great? Is the NBA going to have to get into the that's not fair market value world like the NCAA is? Are they going to have to get into the, a tweet from Kawhi Leonard is not worth $7 million a year? Now, if he did absolutely nothing, that puts them in a tough spot. But it becomes very similar to what the NCAA is going through, which is you're going to have to put all your endorsements above $600 into this NIL Go third-party evaluator, and they will decide whether it is market value or not. And if it is not, then you are not allowed to accept that money. The only difference is you're not dealing with student athletes. You're dealing with multi-millionaires. You go into LeBron and tell him how much his tweet is worth. LeBron's going to say, you don't know media. My tweet is worth whatever somebody is willing to pay me to get to tweet it. And oh, by the way, I make a lot of money off my social media. So yeah, that's a business deal of mine. You're not putting your hands in it, NBA. Or what about this? Let me ask you this question. I'm going to bring it even closer. I'm going to bring it all the way down. Do you know what was talked about a lot on Monday with everybody in town for the TCU-UNC game out there in Chapel Hill? Seth Trimble's become a franchisee, right? Seth Trimble, for those of you that don't know, one of the returning basketball players for the Tar Heels basketball team. He's a franchisee. He is matter of fact, according to some reports, the youngest Ben & Jerry's franchise owner. So he's flipping a little ice cream company, right? He's got a little storefront in Chapel Hill, which, by the way, is exactly what everybody wants to see players do with their NIL, right? You get NIL money, start an investment, set up passive income, set up a business that you can run. So even if basketball doesn't happen for him, he has a livelihood that he's set up based on the backs of his NIL college earnings. Good on him. UNC booster walks in and says, I need the largest ice cream order you can get once a week for the next 2 years. And I'm going to pay top dollar for the ice cream, whatever the price is.
I'm going to leave a very generous tip.
I'm going to leave a very generous tip on top of an already enormous bill. And guess what it is? It's a person that bought ice cream. Are you not allowed to be any kind of business relationship with anyone involved with any part of your sport? What if Kawhi Leonard just started a business? What if he started a business and he was going to go make movies? Is no one that is friends with Steve Bahlmer allowed to invest in that business to raise the evaluation of it? There are more loopholes than there are concrete, solid rules to any of this. And that's in college, which the NCAA is learning, especially when you have the enforcement power of punishments that the NCAA has, which seems to be darn near nothing. But even a big, massive conglomerate like the NBA, where other teams are concerned about it, right? When Kawhi Leonard signed with LA, multiple teams were like, including Toronto, including the Lakers, who were like, we thought we had him. What happened there in the last minute? I'm not saying it was this endorsement deal. I'm not saying it wasn't. But what I am saying is this can of worms, this toothpaste out of the tube isn't going back in anytime soon in college or in the NBA.